Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I'm an alcoholic. It's been 5 years since my last drink. On my 5th anniversary in February, I gave myself a gift. I broke my silence about my alcoholism. I thought long and hard before I shared online. I have always been so ashamed of being an alcoholic, and I truly worried about the consequences of sharing. But that well-thought-out Facebook post brought me here and has given me the opportunity to give Sophia Recovery Center the thanks and credit it deserves for the role it played in my sobriety and the sobriety of so many other women. While we talk openly about mental illness these days, and society has adapted and adjusted its comfort level with that conversation, I don't feel like addiction is treated with the same kindness, understanding, compassion, and care. If I did, it would not have taken me 5 years to publicly share my story. Being an alcoholic is very isolating, and because of how we treat addiction, I am almost always ashamed and silent. I had some problems with alcohol as a teenager, but that would not be unique. I had a strict upbringing in a small town, so I didn't get away with much. I fondly remember the upbeat, energetic teenager I was. You could say I was well-rounded, in the words of my mother. I played all the varsity sports, played saxophone in the band, taught piano, served at my church, was an A student. The resulting entrance scholarship I received to McGill brought me to Montreal in 1987 at the age of 17. When I moved to Montreal for university, my experiences and choices would make alcohol my constant companion. A significant trauma event I experienced in my first year was life-altering. My self-esteem plummeted. My soul felt crushed. I turned inward and soothed myself with alcohol. The teenager I was disappeared. The change was quite remarkable and happened so quickly. I became a party girl, trading my self-worth for attention. I no longer saw my true value. Promiscuity became my gig. Primed by alcohol, I made all kinds of poor choices that impacted my relationships, my academics, my finances, my family, and most importantly, me. I did get that degree, and 2 more after that, married, moved across the country, had children, got divorced and moved to New Brunswick, remarried, and started looking for work. Being the new kid as an adult is hard. And after spending years using alcohol to prepare for social events and to drink away my feelings, I had lost the ability to make and keep friends. Alcohol was my friend, until it wasn't. 6 years ago, my drinking finally brought me to a place where I was obsessed with alcohol, planning my days around when I could have my first drink. As a high-functioning alcoholic, I had a family and a house and a job I was good at. I looked put together. I never missed a day of work because of my drinking. But I was also selfish, using alcohol to cope with whatever life threw at me, further isolating myself from others. Then I got to a place where I was hiding alcohol from my husband, passing out on the couch, and embarrassing him when I drank too much. That didn't stop me from spending every evening planning my lessons at the kitchen island, sipping wine, sneaking vodka, and getting intoxicated. As an educator, I never felt that I could share the story of my alcoholism. I was always worried about my job security because we're always told that we are teachers 24/7, 365 days of the year. I worried about my students finding out, about being judged as unfit to teach or to be a leader. This alcoholic was also arrogant. It is said that alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful, but I was pretty sure I could outsmart it. After all, I had 3 degrees, thought I knew everything, and was confident I could handle things on my own. Thank goodness God had other plans. Divine intervention brought me to my first Alcoholics Anonymous, or AA, meeting in a church basement in Rossay, and I sobbed my way through it. At the end, an old fellow approached me and suggested I try to go to Sophia House, as it was called then. Don't get me wrong, I am eternally grateful for the men in the church basements, but I could not have gotten sober and stayed sober without the women at Sophia Recovery Center. When I walked into Sophia Recovery Center, I found myself surrounded by women who understood, who had walked in my shoes and were blazing a trail for me to follow. At Sophia, I attended regular 12-step meetings, completed a Woman's Way Through the 12 Steps program, participated in book studies, dropped by to chat when I was having a particularly bad day, or just popped in for a cup of tea. The welcoming atmosphere at Sophia was a godsend. I got sober at 47. Stopping drinking was easy. Feeling my feelings was not, and therein lies the challenge. The village that is Sophia Recovery Center was there for me, supporting me, pushing me forward, and embracing me with care and kindness. I no longer plan my days around alcohol. Instead, I prioritize family time, healthy meals, and exercise. I am learning to be a friend and a better daughter, mother, and wife. I live every day trying to choose the next right thing. I have grown as a professional, an athlete, a gardener, a cook, a baker, a money manager, and a person. I could not have done any of it without the support of my husband, children, parents, friends, AA, and the women of Sophia. Thank you, Sophia Recovery Center, and thank you to the United Way for supporting such a powerful, life-altering, necessary organization.
Talk about how we felt, and so how could I cope? Still learning to grow out on my own. I was just aiming to please. So many took advantage of me, left with no hope. I drank to cope, still learning to grow. Lonely, not alone. But I've had one too many to know. Two wasn't enough to loosen me up. Fill my cup, drown me in my pain and wine. Same routine